Hello, everybody, wherever you may be, from coast to coast and sea to shining sea. Welcome back to Ham Radio Live, show about radio for people who love radio. Today's show, we'll talk about the TS-2000, attenuators, and a whole lot more. Welcome back.
Well, I play an old guitar from 9 till a 1:30. I'm just trying to make a living watching everybody else having fun. Well, I don't miss much if it happens on the dance hall floor. Mercy, look what just walked through that door. Well, hello, T-R-O-U-B-L-E. Tell me what in the world you doing there, L-O-N-E.
Originally recorded by Elvis in 1972, it took 20 years for Travis Tritt to recover it, and here it is.
Well, I smell T-R-O-U-B-L-E.
What a great song. Gosh, I can play the whole thing. I love this song. Travis Tritt hit a home run with an Elvis cover in 92. From around the world, wherever you may be, we got a lot to talk about and a short time to get there. Wherever you may be around this world, away we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Shack in Oregon. My name's Larry. My call sign is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Welcome back to Ham Radio Live. Good to see you guys. Welcome. Happy Thursday. It's the 14th of April, 2022, a packed show. We're going to talk about using your attenuators, where you use them, where you might not. Also, we're going to go back in time. I'd like to start something that helps people new to ham radio, where we talk about some old radios that might be available on the used market that could be very powerful and helpful. Today, we'll talk about the Kenwood TS-2000. Also, we'll have, of course, the Angry Hams, and we'll have some trivia for you, and hopefully a lot of fun as well. I want to welcome you to today's show. The whole passion of why we do these is to help you get your way into amateur radio. Please contact someone like the American Radio Relay League. They're really easy to contact. Just let them know where you're located, hit the Contact Us bar, and then they'll send you an email back with a local ham radio club to you. They'll then help you get licensed. So contact that club, get to know them better. They'll help you get your license and even probably help you with gear to get you started, too. It's a good deal. www.arrl.org. If you're here from WRMI and the shortwave show CQ Calling, want to welcome you. Pull up a chair, cup of coffee, and join us for about an hour as we talk about radio. Today is the day, by the way, the show is on worldwide. Hawaii, South Pacific, Australia, New Zealand had the show at 8:15 UTC this morning at 7780 kilohertz. Europe, North Africa, Middle East, show is on right now at 15770 kilohertz. Also tomorrow at 2115 UTC on 7730 kilohertz. Show will be tonight in North America, 7:30 Eastern on 9395 kilohertz, and the Caribbean, Central, and South America will have a show Thursday tonight. That's tonight, 8:15 Eastern on 9955 kilohertz. And if you can't hear the show, listen to that transmission, the one that's at 8:15 Eastern on 9955. You'll hear it on the internet stream at www.wrmi.net. Thanks to ICOM for sponsoring the show. I'm very honored that they do. If you would like to email the show here, feel free and reach out to me at cqhamradiolive@gmail.com. And don't forget, we're also on Discord at ham-radio-live. Yes, we are. I think we caught up with the 21st century last week, so thanks a lot for coming. By the way, we're going to welcome, by the first time he's ever done it, we're pretty excited about this. You know, when someone comes in first, we make a big deal out of it. So Roger McKeon with Molly in the photo, first time, welcome into the show.
Meep, meep.
You did it, Roger. Welcome in. First time you ever made it in first. So welcome to the show, Roger. It's nice to have you. You're number one today. Get a lottery ticket. It's worth it. Mike, welcome. Kilo Delta 2, Sierra X-Ray Delta. A very happy Thursday to you, my friend. David, Kansas City, Missouri. Alpha Echo Zero Papa Hotels here. Patty Roach, first timer 2 Echo Zero Tango Whiskey Delta. That is big to me. Welcome to Ham Radio Live. Nice to meet you, Patty. That is so stinking cool. I am really excited about that. Welcome. Nice to have you on the show. William joins us from Jacksonville, November 5, Echo Victor Victor. Good afternoon to you as well. Steve in the UK. Mike 7, India Whiskey Hotel. Mark Wickens, welcome back. Nice to have you. Andy New, welcome back to you as well. Mike 7, Charlie Union November. Ron Walensky joins us. November 8, Whiskey Charlie Romeo. Cliff Bolton, Virginia. Whiskey Delta 4, Oscar Bravo Papa. Red Summit RF, that's Charlie. November Juliet 7, Victor. Great YouTube channel here. Find him at November Juliet 7 Victor, or just type in Red Summit RF. Great stuff. He really takes you on a nice journey, too, which is fun. Wicked Loud One, it's going to be an awesome show today. Kilo 3, Tango Victor Mike, welcome in. It's good to have you. Thank you for coming, as well as W. Kirby, Whiskey 4, Hotel Kilo Juliet. Jeff's here from Canada, Victor Echo 3, Whiskey Juliet. My goodness, we are really full. Country Strong and Free, it is a good show when you're here. What a good group we have. Wow, Swordfish Radio's here too. Golf 7, Foxtrot Tango November. I can't believe the group. This is huge. Dirk, Whiskey 9, Romeo Delta Yankee. We got big news, by the way, in the forecast for you coming up. Andy Cowley, 2 Echo 0, Romeo Echo is here. And I think we could, nope, Indy has made it from Australia, continent number 3. Welcome. Victor Kilo 2, X-Ray Bravo. He says, good day all. We just had 40 winks, just woke. Been a real long day. Oh, man. For those who don't know, Indy is a truck driver. He drives all through Australia in a semi with ham radios and CBs and all that. Indy, it's always a pleasure. I hope you're well. I hope everything's going good for you there in Australia. Thank you. And Patty, you're welcome. It's my honor to meet you. Thank you so much. Wicked Loud was so close to getting back on the air again. Got my center insulator for the fan dipole done. Just got to cut some wire and hoist it up in the air. Wow, it's cool. That's good. Congratulations, man. You'll get it done before you know it. Country Strong and Free, I'm good. Love the show, and thank you. That's so nice. That, man, Patty, that makes me really feel good. Thank you. 2 Echo 0 Tango Whiskey Delta. You made my day. Thank you. Country Strong and Free, I'm good. Got the radio tuned on to 28.4 and Ham Radio Live. It's a good day today. Bless your heart. By the way, 10 meters is open. It really is. Look at this. Yep, 10 is open. Over there to the far left is the is Angry Ham, which we're not going to go talk to. No! Yeah, we're going to leave him alone, but that's the way it is right now. So good conditions today. We'll talk about that, and we'll get there. Patty Roach, 2 Echo 0, Tango Whiskey Delta. I've been watching a while, buddy. Love the show. Thank you. That's an honor to me. That really is. I'm humbled by that. I mean, I just do this for fun, have a good time, and hopefully help people with it. So hopefully we'll do well. And some weird interference today. We're going to talk about that in the weather. Kevin from Iowa, Kilo 0, Kilo Lima Bravo. And we will now finally get in the weather as we get a good comment. This goes perfect into what's going on. Think there's quite a solar storm kicking off about now. You are correct. Let's get into the weather today. Powered by ICOM. ICOM for the love of ham radio. Here's your A1A. Look at the southwest corner. For those people who may be new to this, if you take a look about 8 o'clock on the sun, you're going to see some really bright spots there. See how it's really sticking out? The kind of that sunshine is coming around from the outside there about 8 o'clock. If you remember about 2 weeks ago, we had a very active sunspot region named 2975. That's it. It has survived all the way around the backside of the sun and is coming back, and it's still together. So expect conditions to really improve in the next few days. Here is the backside view. Now, you won't see 2975 here because you're seeing this from the east limb to about 2/3 of the back of the sun. 2975 is already passed. It's on the far right lower side there. Coronal hole map, you can see the sunlight really coming out there from the left side on about 8 o'clock. So that's, again, 2975 is a big player, and it's already done another CME on the backside. So definitely some good conditions coming. You see coronal holes 74 and 75 facing us. The current solar flare conditions, here is what it looks like. And, you know, if you look at this, looks like things are getting better, right? Looks like everything's getting better because it's starting to come up from a B-class flare towards a C. And honestly, it actually even looked better than this earlier today. When I looked at it earlier, I was surprised. Let me show you real quick. Look at this. Now, this is really showing something coming up, right? We're up to C-class flares, and then it goes back down to B. So expect some better conditions. It won't come yet. It's going to be coming over the weekend. That's when we should get some good conditions. MUF map, current, right now in the U.S., it says up north here, 21 megs, but certainly 10 is wide open. So from North America, I believe West Coast, if we're already getting it, for the most part, Canadian border south, we're on 10 all the way down into Argentina. Head towards Europe. Europe, 22 megahertz on the mainland, heading towards the Middle East, right about 18 megahertz in Saudi Arabia, going towards the wonderful mates in Australia, 12 megahertz to the north of the Gold Coast, heading towards Melbourne, about 9 megahertz, and near Perth, 10 megahertz there. If you're in the Far East, you're still on right about 10 megahertz, but better conditions are coming your way. Here is some information about Aurora, and this is interesting because we're going to show you what's happened today with this storm. We do have a solar storm going on right now, and we'll show a little bit about this, okay? This is the piece we're talking about coming this weekend. This is Old Active Region 2975 and company still appear to be active. And this is great news. This really is. Because when it was on the front side of the sun before, it was responsible for 5 CMEs. That means it's active and it's going to bring our SFIs up. This is a really good thing. AR 2975 and company, which means 2976 and 2984 should begin to turn back into view beginning about April 16th. Let's take a look now at the K index, and here's where the storm is. This is the planet's impact on the Earth's magnetic field. It's right now a K6. That's a major storm. So when this happens, noise floors tend to get really high on the lower bands and sometimes can go a little bit higher, like to 20 meters. But for the most part, you still can make some great calls. But look what it does to the aurora. Okay, this was yesterday's aurora in the north. Now we take a look at it before the K6. When I took this one, this was when we were at a K5. Now take a look at it. We go from here, and this was K0 yesterday. Here's K5, okay? Here is K6. Isn't that amazing? That's how much it changed today. I'll show you again. This is, again, the K index. So about 4 hours ago, when it was a K4, it was a K5. So K5, we went from here yesterday, K0, here's K5, here's K6. That's the aurora in the north. In the south, here's the same progression. Here was the K0, here was the K4, and here is the K6. Just amazing what it does to our aurora. Current conditions out of Boulder, SFI 99. So we're up a little bit. Solar number is at 37. A index down to 9, which is good. The K index is the problem, is at K6. Also negative BZ. This is not a good combo. It's minus 8.8. Solar wind also, it's kind of a little high, guys. It's at 499.2 kilometers per second. And you can see HF band conditions poor everywhere, but it's not. It just isn't poor right now. Get on your radio, you'll make some calls. When I checked about 15 UTC, here was the way Europe looked. It was pretty much, 17 megahertz in the north and about the 15 meter band in the south. And then later on, it kind of stayed to about 15 meters there, even in the northern part of Europe. As we were waking up here in the States, 31 megahertz already towards Florida, but then the States were kind of waking up to a little higher SFI. So that's kind of how things have went. The current ham radio forecast for ham and shortwave for today, voice in the north and the mid and the south, you'll get it, 20, 17, 15, 12, and 10. However, nighttime is where the problem is. It's 160, 80, 75, 60, 40, 30, and they'll be loud. A lot more noise in the bands right now. So please watch your headphone volume, all right? Best DX is going to be at 40 meters, but remember, at sunset, work your maximum usable frequency at gray line. Shortwave bands today, 31, 25, 22 in the 19-meter band. Nighttime shortwave, 120, 90, 75, 60, 49, 41, 31, 25, and right there the noise will kind of slow down. It was not going to affect the band so much by the time you hit the 22 and 19-meter band. So watch your headphones, all right? 19 meters, by the way, open in the north now till about an hour after sunset, and your signals are going to fade away. All right, there's your forecast. I know it's big, but a lot going on with a major geomagnetic storm. Plus, we have good conditions coming up for the weekend, which is great. We'll make some good calls. Today's question, by the way, what bands do you typically use your attenuators at? This is a great question for today because we got a K index that's so high right now, right? K index is up to a K6. You're going to have a lot of noise in the bands. Attenuate. That's the first thing you should do before you start messing with bandwidth and noise reduction, right? So where do you typically use your attenuators? Let us know in the comment section, and we will make it part of today's show. All right? It's nice to see you guys wherever you may be. Thank you for coming on a Thursday edition of Ham Radio Live. Thank you, guys. It's a lot of talking. Thank you. I needed that quite a bit. All right. Barry Wendon, welcome. Nice to see you. Golf 6, Juliet Mike X-Ray. And Dirk, thank you for the links. That's so nice of you. Thank you very, very much. Nice. Will Myers, Kilo Alpha 8, Golf India Mike. By the way, this is going to tell you how bad we are, Bill. I received a card from you, and I didn't even know you gave it to me. I had no idea, and I'm going to open it right now because I've not opened it. I felt so bad when I saw this today on the counter. And look at this. Nice. As you recover from your operation. This comes from William Myers in the state of Wisconsin, the guy right there that's on the screen. Wow. We are praying for you, rapid healing and pain-free days ahead. Best wishes for speedy recovery. What a nice thing. And look at this. This is from Bill and his wife, Kelly. And here is his QSL card. Isn't that special? You know what? Well, thank you. This made my day. I got to tell you, I didn't even know this was coming today. I just happened to see it because I got a call from people that wanted me to send them paperwork, right? Which I haven't done yet, but I filled it out. And I found your card. I'm so sorry I didn't get it till now, but it means just as much to me right now as it did right out of Back Fusion. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. This is a keeper. Wow. I'm always grateful to do this show because I feel I've connected well with and made friends with people. And when they do nice things like that, that's priceless. It really is. I mean that. Thank you, Will. Gary Strong, welcome. Whiskey 9 Papa Yankee from Las Vegas. Reed's here. Alpha Bravo 8 Alpha Sierra, welcome. It's good to have you. Country Strong and Free, yeah, basically in the center of town with 15,000 population. My best times for 10 meter in the afternoon. Lots of factories here too. And you'll find 10 meters is that way in the afternoon. But as we go towards the solar maximum, 10 meters is going to be open a lot sooner and go a lot longer. It really will. So it should be a wonderful, today should be a great day to work your radio. 10 is still doing quite well here too. Andy New, hoping to finally deploy the Sidewinder DX10 outside tomorrow. Weather looks okay. Fingers crossed, and he feels well enough. That's good. He's been having a lot of rain. They've had a lot of rain there where Andy's from in Bristol. So good. I'm glad we're finally getting some better weather for you guys. Here, the snow level is just plummeted. We had snow here yesterday. I mean, I'm looking at the calendar. Well, this is insane. Still, even some snowfall today. Nothing stuck, but still tells you how cold it is. Yeah. Red Summoner F. This is Charlie. What's an attenuator? LOL. Just kidding. I guess I should use one time. I know, right? Yeah, I understand. Yep. So when do you use yours? Good question. Because we do take care of trying to help new people to amateur radio. And whether you use a shortwave, a quality shortwave radio, right? Or you use an amateur radio, ham radio, those are going to have attenuators on them. Where do you use yours? Indy in VK land says, I find it easier to use the attenuator on the radio. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Very good. Thank you. Oh, it's going to be one of those days. I can just feel it. I can feel it. Yep, Indy, I know. Got an offbeat sense of humor. I got you. Don't worry about it. Go. Yep. And attenuator use for me is on the fly. With my setup, I need all the signal I can get. LOL. He's using a loop. Yeah, and that makes perfect sense. Yeah. And Country Strong Free Grant, I'm still only a tech, so I don't go past 10 meter sidebed. But he's working. He's going to work on getting that general. We're going to help you with that. Seriously, you should get it. You'll do so well, and then you could really work some HF, have some fun. No kidding. Welcome, Ocala, Florida. That's Adam, November Yankee 5 Echo. It's an honor to have you. Thanks, Adam. Good to see you. And Charlie, thank you for coming and stopping by. It is so special. He says, having lunch with his son. That's the best thing you do in your world, man. My best to you and your family. Charlie, enjoy your day, and thank you. Thanks for being here, mate. Always good to see you, Red. Always good. All right. Steve, with automatic gain control, I haven't found attenuator on my G90 to make much difference. I'm not sure if I know when I should be using it. That's why we're here. Good question, right? This will help people, so it's good. Look at this. We have a new call sign. Ladies and gentlemen, brand new call sign. We must give news to this. November 1 Alpha Quebec Hotel. The old call sign was Whiskey 17 Alpha Romeo Delta. It's Spike. Changed his call sign, November 1 Alpha Quebec Hotel, my former submariner's call sign. Beat the FCC fees and extended my expiration date by 10 full years. My goodness.
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Wile E. Coyote. Genius.
Yes, truly you are. Thank you. Well done, Spike. That's great, man. Beat the FCC fees. By the way, it starts on the 19th of April for people who may not know that, okay? Yeah. William in Jacksonville, I knew new QTH to work anything other than 2 meter and 77 from home. Oh man, that means things are loud, not good. Adam, typically use attenuation at varying levels, 6 dB to 18 dB, starting on 20 meters all the way through 75. You know, it's interesting you mentioned that. And a lot of it depends on your QTH. It really does. If you're in a noisy area, right? Say you live near some factories, or you live maybe near a power station, one of the substations. Man, you could have a lot of noise, and that RF noise can really affect your radio. Let's go to this one real quick. We're going to check, and this is a fairly quiet place. It didn't used to be, okay? And I got to tell you something really funny. I had the power company come out because I couldn't figure out what was wrong with the radio. It was just crazy. All of a sudden, I had, like S8 just everywhere, all over the place, just RFI like crazy. So I called the power company because I have a box right out in front of my house. I thought it was that box. They checked. Nope, wasn't the box. Instead, what it was it ended up being my neighbor's waterfall pump controller from his outside waterfall for his koi pond. No kidding. It just was blasting RFI for more than a city block. The guy was driving around with directional antennas. He's like, Larry, I'm pretty sure it's right over there next door to you. And I'm like, no. All he has is a waterfall pump. And he says, well, I think maybe it's a problem. Sure enough, he was right. And once that got pulled, everything worked great. In fact, you wouldn't see a clear waterfall screen like this if that was still there. So this is 10 meters now. And this is neat because this is the area right around where technicians can actually use HF. So they can go from 28.5. And keep in mind, if you're a tech, that means 28.497 because you're going up 3 kilohertz. So 28.497 up, right? Okay.
We're in Tornado Alley. We're in Flash
Flood Alley, and we can have any kind of thunder and lightning storm.
This is a guy I've been listening to in South Texas for a while.
I'll tell you, like I say, I'm fortunate.
This guy, if I remember right, his call sign was, goodness sakes, I wrote down, where is it? It's Alpha Delta 5 Mike Delta. So anyway, yeah, that's it. And then the beacon at 425, I'm not hearing, which is interesting because he's always on. He's got it on a timer, right? So if I don't hear him, that tells me the East Coast isn't coming in. Real light right there. Here on 410. So 10 meters looks good. I mean, it's a good day to turn your radio on if you're in the daytime now. Here in North America, a great day to turn your radio on 10 meters. It really is. I enjoy spending some time with you. That's good. Oh my gosh, check this out. This is William in Jacksonville. I live between 4 airports, 2 naval air stations, 1 major airport, 1 business airport, and a partridge in a pear tree. No! Wow. On top of that, I'm an 11-story high-rise and live near a major mall and 2 strip malls. Jeez, he's getting blasted with RFI. No kidding. You really would. Because there's so much electronics. There's so many electronics around him that would just drive him crazy. No kidding. Yeah. That'd be really, really hard. Rod Clare, welcome. Salem, Oregon's here. Kilo 7 Lima Alpha Papa. It's welcome to the showtime. Thanks for coming, mate. Good to see you. Kevin O'Doublehand. When I lived in a Masonette, I think I said that right. I hope I did. The neighbor's heating system caused a lot of noise. I was getting an S10 to S20 of noise every time their heating system kicked in. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. That's pretty bad. Country Strong Free, 28.430 has a guy could barely hear over the noise. Yeah. At places, you'll hear it. And it's interesting because I'm hearing 10 going down to Texas way. But here's something interesting. I was going to show this with you before, and here it is. Hold on. Let me try and pull this out real quick because this is an interesting little tidbit I can share with you. If I can find my dry erase marker. Okay, for new hams. Your QTH means a lot. Where you're transmitting means a lot. And you can't necessarily change if you live where you live, right? Unless you want to move for your ham radio thing and you have a spouse and she's okay with that, perfect. But anyway, where I live, okay, I live, let's say for example, I live right here, right? Okay, so I live on this X. Ignore this. This is the ocean. We'll just make that the ocean because really the Pacific Ocean is right over here. So that whole area is blue. All right, I have about an 800-foot mountain just east of me 2 miles. So when I transmit from the DX Commander Classic antenna, I have to get over that. And my radiation, my takeoff angle is pretty low. So most of my signal gets swallowed up going east, but going south or going southeast, I do really well, okay? If I go west, I'm hitting New Zealand, Australia, I'm hitting Japan that way, I'm going to Hawaii that way. I mean, it really works well. But if you've got mountains near where you live and you've got any, I don't care what kind of antenna it is, if they're close, your takeoff angle from your antenna is going to be severely messed up by your terrain. It's just one of the things that you deal with in radio. It's a great question that Tom asked me on private chat. He said, well, I don't know why sometimes you get these reports from Michigan or, Ohio or something, and they're lower than they are from the south. And I explained to him, this is why. It's because they've got an 850-foot hill 2 miles away from me to the east, but it's not a huge hill. It's got a great little area to the southeast that probably goes, I would say, to probably faces Kansas and south. So heading towards Colorado, Kansas, and southeast. No, pretty good. But then when you go south, good conditions. North, good conditions. West, great conditions. So you can't help where you're at. But when you move your location, if you decide to go portable like Charlie does, everything opens up. It's a wonderful world. So if you're in a multi-tenement building or you have a place where there's no garden space, right? We talked about an antenna yesterday that works really, really good, the MFJ 1979. Get it like the little trailer hitch, and then just adjust it for height, for wavelength, and you're rolling. That thing will get you the world. Tom from the channel, Alpha 92 Golf Whiskey in Bahrain, has worked 5 continents with his, and he typically fills his log up with at least 2 or 3 pages of calls every time he uses it. So, there are lots of ways you can help your calls go well. But one thing you can't is where you live and what's around you. So if you're discouraged, maybe because you have a little lot and you have an antenna on it and you're not getting great reports certain directions, take a look around you. If there's big mountains or your city or whatever, big buildings near you, whatever, remember your signal's got to go through that. So be careful on your expectations with what you have to work with. And be easy on yourself, because this is supposed to be a fun hobby. Okay? That's all I have to say about that. All right. Rod, he says he does get me on NVIS, and he's on the other side of that hill. He's just on the other side of that 850-foot hill. Really is. All right, so we've got a neat segment. I'm so excited. But first, before we do that, this is so much fun. We're going to talk about a guy who goes to this channel, and he's also been here almost since day one, and that's a long time ago. I'm really, really excited to have him come. So we're going to today honor Fred all the way in the very first state. Yep, he is from Delaware. Fred comes from the beautiful state of Delaware, city's Magnolia, and he is really a good ham. He's got all 50 states, master of South America and North America and Europe. He's got all the continents, World Radio Friendship, Grid Squares, the United States counties, and DXCC. Fred Tolan, AA3R.
Guess who just got
And by the way,
back today?
he's a big Thin Lizzy fan too. So this is Fred's favorite band. In fact, listen to this. Here is a picture of Fred with, this is the mother of the lead singer for Thin Lizzy. Isn't that great? There's the singer there. I knew I'd have to do this for Fred, just for Fred. Yeah, Fred's a big fan of this band. And Fred also, there's his working conditions. Take a look. That is a Kenwood TS-2000. We've made a call on the show before. So, Fred, we're going to honor you today on the show as being part of the family here at Ham Radio Live. Alpha 3 Romeo. And look at this gentleman. He does a great job. Thank you for being a part of the show here, Fred. That's been so much fun to have you. Wow. That's the radio I want. Yeah. Just want it. Nice radio. Goodness sakes. The 890S it's always been a radio I've really liked, It's not like I got the 590SG here. I've got the 990 and the 890 brochures. They're neat to have, neat to look at, to think about maybe down the road, if you can do it and make it go. Kind of fun. Got some good guests coming. Good guests. This weekend, mark this down. It's going to be so much fun. Josh from Cam Radio Crash Course joins us. Kilo India 6, November Alpha Zulu, live from California at 1900 UTC. Now, for folks in the States, it's noon Pacific. That's 3 p.m. in the East. If you're in London, that should be right about 6 p.m. If you're in Australia on the Eastern Coast, that's 6 a.m. Please join us. For Josh, I'm going to crash course. Wow, we're going to have a great conversation talking about radio. Also, the next week, this is so cool. We've never done from a vehicle before. We're going to talk with Brent, Whiskey 7 Backroads, April 23rd, 1900 UTC. He's going to talk to us from the Earth Cruiser, and we're going to talk ham radio. That's going to be a ball. The following weekend, meet Chris, Digital Analog Camp, 2 Echo Zero Union Kilo Hotel. Going to talk about handhelds here on the station. If you want to learn about handhelds or antennas, boy, he's got the answers. It's going to be fun to learn from him on 1900 UTC on April 30th. Then coming up June the 11th at 1900 UTC, Tim Duffy, Kilo 3 Lima Romeo, joins us talking about his ham radio career plus his gigantic and cool contest station. Yeah. Yep. That's going to be on June 11th at 1900 UTC with Tim. Plus, on the 18th of this month, I'll be with T.O. Kilo Mike 9 Golf on his channel, which is temporarily offline ham radio. It's going to be fun. That'll be at 0 UTC, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. in the Eastern Time Zone. He's going to teach me how to work FT8. I'd love for you to come join us. If you don't know how to do it, let's all learn it together from T.O., okay? That'll be at 00 UTC. I know a little late for folks in Europe, but still. It'll be worth it. Then coming up on May 1st at 23 UTC, that's 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, we'll be with Charlie at Red Summit RF on his channel. That'll be a lot of fun. Going to talk about solar weather plus working portable. It's going to be a fun show, guys. I hope you can join us on May the 1st on Charlie's channel. All right, what bands do you typically attenuate? Now, for me, typically loud bands like 80 and 40, sometimes 20. But I get up to 17. I typically never attenuate because there's not that much QRN, which is environmental noise. They're not typically, the noise isn't so high there. But sometimes, wow, you go 12 dB or 18 dB on 80 meters in the summer with all the static crashes, right? And you got a CME coming in. The noise levels are crazy. Like today, right now. Okay, if you were to look at the solar conditions, sorry to shake the table, I didn't mean to do that. But when you look at this and you catch a K6, which is big, that's very, very loud. Okay, on the lower bands, you're going to get some tremendous noise. You really are. In fact, let's do this. Let's just for fun, just for the heck of it, let's take a look. And we're going to go from 10 and we're going to 80 meters and just watch the meter, okay? Watch. So we're on 10, quiet band. Look at that. So there's a, that's a loud band, right? Now 40 should be a little quieter. Yep, see, a little quieter, so we don't have as much noise there. Bringing the RF gain up a little bit, but yeah, you can just see the sizzle, right? You can just see it. But 80 is just crazy. It's just loud. So that's why when we take a look at the conditions today, right, and you look at the QRZ, what I like to look at on days like today is look at signal-to-noise ratio. It's the third from the bottom, okay? Third from the bottom, S6 to S9, yeah. So if you're on 80 or you're on 40 tonight, try and keep your headphone volume down unless this K-index drops quite a bit. You don't want an S6 to S9 because that's just, it's crazy. You just saw what it does, what it looks like. I mean, this is not a day where you just go out and you turn your radio on and say, I know, I'm going to work some really good DX today. Because think about what does the signal have to be at to be able to make a great call, right? When you're looking at this, you've got a signal over 5.9 to be able to even hear the doggone thing. So just make sure, please, and keep your headphones down and try maybe to work the higher bands. Have fun on the daytime, then work VHF, UHF, and make it a perfect day. Yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah. The Gaming Hams here. Hi, Gordon. Nice to see you. Thank you for coming. My gosh. It's good to see you. It really is. We're going to talk about a really neat radio. Oh, by the way, Reed, no, I'm not attending Hamvention. I don't monetize this. I don't make money doing it, so I don't go to those. I'll go to CPAC here in the Northwest, but yeah, I'm just not. Yeah, I wish I could. It'd be fun to go to all the big ham fairs and fests. That would be neat to do. It really would be. A lot of guys do that on YouTube, and I watch because it's neat to see, right? It's always fun. Thanks for asking. It's really nice to know. That's nice. Thank you. And William, yeah, I thought my screen was going crazy, shaking your hammer. Yeah, sorry, sometimes because it's either the chair or it's my head, it hits it just right. And the way my camera's mounted, it just shakes a little bit. So I'm sorry that happened. Didn't mean to. Yeah. Randy Gideon, welcome. California's back. Kilo November 6, Bravo Zulu Golf. It's good to have you. Yeah, the FT8 off over at TO's channel is pretty darn good, right? AV question, with all the new SDR technology, why the heck can they not handle it? Elecraft, ICOM, Miesu, etc. It's just noise to a limit by a computer. No, not really. No, it's a good question. And I understand the point you're trying to make. The thing is that there's natural atmospheric noise wherever you are, whether it be on 2 meters or on 160, right? We know that 80 is typically the loudest band, right? So there's going to be natural QRN. But we can't attenuate that to get it out, because if we do, we miss weak signals, because that's part of what's coming into our antennas too. SCR is simply just a way to try and give you, I think, a clearer signal than a super het. I mean, I can tell you, sir, the 7610 versus the 5000, both top-end radios, the 7610 just sounds pure. It just sounds really clean. But if you try and, there's no way to work out the noise, because if you work out the noise, that's the incoming signal, right? You're going to miss those calls too. Interesting question. Good one too. And AV, thank you for asking that question. That's a good question. I love people who I admire people a lot who have the courage to ask a question, whatever the question is. It's really important to them. So I'm glad you asked it. Thank you. Because that can hopefully help others. If you try and knock out too much noise, you knock out the signals with them, so you have to be careful. Hi, Todd. Welcome, my friend. Always good to see you. That's the state of Kentucky, and he's back, and we're so grateful you are. Thank you, Todd. Mike uses attenuator mostly on 80 at night. Yeah, that's a good place to use it at, because, you already have so much noise to begin with. Let's look at what happens when you do that. Okay, so here's 80, and you can see, now these are not signals, it's just RFI. So we got the bacon frying noise, okay? So let's try and bring it down. And I'm going to just try and bring the RF gain way down. So there's really no gain coming in right now, okay? So let's bring the gain where it's supposed to be, which is here. All right. So that's where the radio is supposed to be at for gain, typically. And so you can see where it is. Now, if you attenuate, watch what happens to the S meter and the waterfall. Knock it down 1, it brings it down, right? That's 6 dB of gain that you're cutting back, okay? Second time, 12 dB. Brings it down even more. And what you can find sometimes is you'll find signals will show up because there's so much noise on the band that you're missing it simply because the band looks like this. It's just so blue, you can't do it. So when you get the attenuator up, even to 18, look. Now, ride your RF gain up a little bit. A little bit. And then just kind of listen, see if you can pick up a signal. I don't want to burn your ears out. It doesn't take long of bacon frying to do that, so. It's a light one right there. So there you go. Yeah, and that's a really good place using attenuation, because if you don't, you've just got this receiver overload. It really does. That helps to not make the receiver just so overloaded with noise. Big difference. All right, we're going to try some today. We've never done this before, and I started thinking, okay, there's a lot of people who are new to amateur radio, right? Who watch this channel, and I'm honored that you do. And part of me thinks, well, if I was getting into amateur radio, I might want to know what radios might be there for me to buy. Okay, we're going to talk about one today. We did a little bit of one yesterday. It's a QRP rig. That was the Yaesu Nancy Delta. Today we're going to talk about a really cool one. This one does all modes. So it does high frequency, which is 3 to 30 megahertz. Remember, your amateur radio test is going to have this on there, okay? So your HF bands are 3 to 30 megahertz. Then you go to VHF, which is 30 to 300 megahertz. And then you go to UHF, which is 300 to 3 gigahertz. That's UHF. All right. This radio does it all. It's the Kenwood TS-2000. It's not too old, and it does all the bands. Let's take a brief look at the HF side of it, as this gentleman now, he's trying to sell it, okay? But he does show enough of the radio that gives you a little bit of an idea of what it can do. The Kenwood TS-2000.
Today we're looking at a Kenwood 2000X. The X stands for the 1.2 gigahertz module installed inside of the machine. You're also looking at an MFJ 299 microphone. This is going to be for sale on eBay very soon. Let me go ahead and separate these two. The microphone, it works pretty good. It's got a little bit of a flaky press to talk. The lock works perfectly fine. Otherwise, everything's okay on it. I got the cable that actually works on the Kenwood radio. This Kenwood radio over here is not for sale. I couldn't find the stock mic for this radio, so I figured I'd throw this in. Again, remember that the push-to-talk's a little flaky, probably needs a little bit of cleaning fluid in there. The battery compartment is clean. The radio itself here is in nice shape. Let's get into the display here so you can take a look. It's nice and bright. Okay, there's the buttons. Let's take a look at the VFO knob. Okay, the VFO knob's in nice shape. It's not worn down. Please forgive my creaky chair that I'm sitting in. Let's take a look at the side here. It's got the handle. The top over here, it does have a few little scratches. I'm going to take some pictures. It's got some imperfections in the back. Otherwise, it is in it's in nice shape. It's in one piece. You do not get anything else you see in the picture. You just get the radio, and you get yourself the MFJ microphone, and you are going to get a power cord. Okay, so those are the three things you're going to get. I do not think I have the manual. I do not have the original box. This radio here was from a friend, a Silent Key, and I've had it for 4 years.
And I don't want people to think this is currently on the market, okay? This is an older video, okay?
Smoked. My friend, the Silent Key, did not smoke. I do not smoke. I've had it for 4 years. It's working fine. The only thing I could say is it's missing the Kenwood emblem up here. Okay, but besides that, it is in nice shape. Like I said, I'll take some pictures. Just being honest, first owner was a smoker. Second owner wasn't. Third owner is not, which is me. Does have the 1.2 gig module in there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call out to my friend, which is sitting out here. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to test the radio out. We're on 146.52 here in Chicago on Simplex. W9MRB and 9SSU. Mike, are you out here?
Yes, W9RB. What's up, though?
Hi, Mike. I'm recording the Kenwood 2000X. I'm showing the audience that what the radio is all about. I'm also letting them know that you're waiting out there so we can test it out. And how am I sounding? Obviously, you can hear me because you replied back to me.
Sounds very good. Nice, full, clean audio. I don't have any trouble hearing you whatsoever.
As you can see, I turned the preamp on and off. It was on. I'll keep it off so you can hear. Hi, Mike. Sounds good. I showed him it's got the 1.2 gig module in it. Unfortunately, here in Chicago, we don't have 1.2 gig machines anymore. They're all D-Star. And I have nobody to talk to Simplex anymore. And the reason I'm getting rid of the radio, because I got way too many HF radios. And I really got to thin out the herd. And this came from our friend, Silent Key. So, Mike, why don't we head over to 10 meters so we can show that the HF works. And it might take me a little bit of time to get there, so if you get there before me, just hang tight.
You want to start on which mode, FM?
Sure, we'll start on FM, then we'll go to AM, and then we'll do sideband.
So he goes down to 10, so he's at 1.29, and he's really up
Here's
there
my
right now.
NISSU. So as you can see, he can hear
And
me.
he's simple.
I'm
You
gonna
just
go ahead,
simply
I'm gonna go
touch
to
the
main
band. He'll
band.
work
I'm
his
gonna
way
get out
down.
of VFO.
And there he is on 10
The radio
meters, right?
is unlocked, to let you know.
So it'll work. And this is one that'll work Mars.
Okay, we're on 29.
So
We're gonna
it's
go to
got everything
FM.
opened up on it. And here he is on 29. And he's going to show exactly that it works on HF, just like our radios work. Same stuff. Here's where the benefit is with a Kenwood TS-2000. It does satellite work. It really does, and very well. By the way, here's a great video with the same radio working the International Space. Well, I shouldn't say working. It's hearing it, though. So here is it with the International Space Station, and it can make those calls to the ISS as well.
Hey, Aiden. I think when I was about 6 years old, I was so impressed by photos of the Earth seen from the moon, seen from space. I decided to be an explorer. I decided to be a scientist. I decided to be a person who would know more about the world. I didn't think it was possible to be an astronaut, but I thought anyway I would try to model myself on the space program. Go to university, stay athletic, take care of yourself, and become a reliable person.
And this is the voice of an astronaut on the ISS.
Seen from space, the Earth is the most beautiful thing I've seen. It's obviously the only thing alive in the area. It's blue, glowing blue, with clouds moving. We can see northern lights around the poles, lightning storms somewhere, the cities at night. It's a constant spectacle. It is very touching to see the beautiful Earth. And I find it, at the same time, it looks strong and it looks fragile. So it convinces me that we have to take good care of her. Over.
So that gives you a good idea. What I love about the TS-2000 for a new ham is it teaches you how to use a radio without a waterfall display. I think that is a skill in itself, using your ears to make calls, not your eyes to see it, right? Because a lot of times, even like on the 7610, I make calls that I don't see. You just don't see them on the waterfall because they're so weak, right? Well, the nice about the TS-2000 is if you're a technician, it already does the VHF, UHF stuff. So it's already there. You can work the space station, same as you do with your current, VHF, UHF. But then when you go and want to work HF, if you license up, it's ready for you. It's all there. It's on the TS-2000 Kenwood, and it is such a great sounding radio as well. Multiple antenna inputs, which is really cool. Also, right now, very affordably priced. You can get them on the used market between $7 and about $8.50, and depending upon condition. So, look for that. Might be a radio that might interest you. Please don't get too stuck on scopes, waterfall displays. They're really, I think they're beautiful. Don't get me wrong. And looks do sell radios, clearly. But get the experience listening for signals before you look for them. It'll make all the difference in the world than listening for great DX, okay? I want to get to a segment that's very important to me. All right, this is on the radio. And we talk about noise and mitigating noise. Very important to do that. Okay, so we're on 75 meters right now. 75 meters starts at 3.750. Technically, we would call this 80 meters, but some people call it 75. And the only reason why is it's over 3.750. Again, 300 divided by frequency gives you a meter band. So that's the math. So we're going to take a listen, and we're going to try and pick up a signal within this band, within 7580, with all this noise, and I'll show you the different ways to do it. Attenuation plus noise reduction. Let's see if we can find a signal. And keep in mind, guys, it's, It's 1:06 p.m. here, so middle of the afternoon. Not many people are going to be on this frequency. I think I've told you I listen with my eyes closed, okay? I don't watch the scope. I can almost hear something right there, but I guess not. So we'll keep going. Thought there was something there. So let's listen. Here's with attenuation. Very weak. Now, if you attenuate too much, you'll lose a signal. That's a problem. So let's bring it back up. Barely hear him, right? Go to 6. Okay, we're at 3 wide, so let's get some of the noise out of the passband.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Well, I mean, you can have $100 million and probably live very well for the rest of your life as long as you don't want to live that jet-setter lifestyle. But yeah, you want to be sipping martinis on the beach in Hawaii all the time and jet-setting and going here and going
There you go.
Boy, you're going through $100 million pretty quick.
And that's how you do it. It sounds really simple, right? And to explain what I did, just so people understand, the first thing you have to do is get some of the noise out, okay? So you're going to press the attenuator. That's the 3rd button down. So you're going to go down to, it starts at off, and then you see how blue the screen gets and how crazy the meter goes. Just move it to 6. Okay, get 6 dB out, and then start to search for signals. You'll hear it, and then as you hear it, start to narrow the passband. So I have it down here. If you take a look top left, you see antenna 1, then you move to the very top line. It says ANT1, and then bandwidth. Look how thin it is. It's down to 2.1K, but we can hear him, okay? Even though it's very narrow, you could still hear the guy. And that was really the key to doing it. Narrow the passband, bring in your noise reduction, and you may have to go a little high on it, but you'll end up getting the signal back in. And you'll find on noisy band days where like you're working 40 or especially 40 or 80 and it's the nighttime and you really want to make calls, when you just listen, just close your eyes, just try it. It sounds weird, but it works for me. Close your eyes, don't look at the screen and listen, because that signal wasn't on the waterfall when I found it, but you have to just listen. And then once you start to hear a little bit, kind of tune it in a little bit, and then, give it a little bit. You sometimes give it a push with attenuation. Sometimes what I always like to do is just start with attenuation, get about 6 dB out, then lower the passband down. So once you got most of that noise out of there, bring up the noise reduction. That's a good combo for me. It's worked well. And, another thing you can do too, which sounds strange, is we can also bring in the RF gain a little bit and see if we get the signal a little louder here. Hopefully he'll transmit again. Just listen to it. It just sounds like bacon frying. You see, that's adding RF gain. And that's where we started. So you start to hear him come back. Just lightly bring the RF gain up just to make him more listenable. That's all you're doing. Just bringing him a little more listenable. The RF gain gives you a little push. That's all it does. A little push to hear him a little better. And that'll help you pick up the call sign. It'll help you pick up a signal report and let you make the exchange on loud band days like today. Okay. So when we're looking at a case like today, gee whiz, case 6, that's a pretty high noise floor, right? And then we get to QRZ. That's why it says here, the signal to noise level, S6 to S9. That's going to be very loud if it stays that way. And it's not going to. It's going to come down. So, let's do this. Let's just take a look at we'll take a look at the current QRZ conditions. Let's just go and we'll quickly flip over there and see. Okay, so, wow, we're K6 still. Yeah, so still a K6. So things haven't changed anything in terms of our conditions, but If it's still loud tonight, try that. Just keep your attenuator. Maybe you're on, let's say you're on 80, 70, 80 meters, and just learn, play with it. Bring your attenuation up to 6. Then narrow that passband down. Because what you're narrowing down is you're narrowing down some of the sides of the sideband where some of that noise is coming from. And then slowly bring up your noise reduction. Not much. Just give it a little bit until it's listenable for you. It's probably going to fade a little bit, but at least it'll help you pick up something from nothing. I hope that segment helped. I really do. All right. And you're welcome, Dirk, by the way. You guys are welcome. I hope you guys don't be a scope head. I just think it's so important. Learn so much. Learn by listening, because you'll do so much. You really will. Indy, scopes are a bit waste on me because he's driving, right? He can't look at the scope. Jim's here from Walnut Creek. Hi, Jim. Whiskey 6, Juliet into Mike. One of the best CW operators out there and a winner of a lot of contests, too. It's really good to meet you. Thanks for being here, Jim. Ron Molensky, nice comment. Using an SDR next to my IC746 really opened my eyes. Yeah, I bet it did. That's interesting, right? And Andy knew, and we're both same cloth here. We listened for a lot of decades. Look what he says. Years of shortwave listening has tuned my ears for signals. Nice comment, Andy. I love it. That's comment on the show. Yep. Use your ears. Makes a big difference. Jim, when I got my first radio with a scope, I felt like I was cheating. I bet you did. I bet you did. No kidding. Country Song Free, I also need to read through the manual more and learn the buttons and what they can do on this radio. That helps. Yes, please. Read it. It makes a big difference, yeah. And then, Indy, there's some noise you just ain't never going to defeat. And he's right, because let's face it, if the noise is out there, the signals are out there too. And there's no radio that's going to knock the noise down enough that it's going to make it all perfectly listenable. That's the way HF will always be. There's no cure for it, because noise is at a certain level, and the signal's at a certain level. You'll miss the ones that are below the noise floor, but you'll hear the ones that are hopefully at or just above. Yeah, nice comment. Thank you. Yeah. Andy, and by the way, enjoy the Bahamas. Wow. It was empty. It would have been about 100,000. And Andy, thank you. Yeah, just a little bit on that. Mike, thank you. And it's just finding some of the stuff is listening, and believe it, 80 is the loudest band to do it on. Learn at a tough band. Learn on 80 meters and work your way. 160 maybe, and then go to 40. 40 is going to seem simple to you once you work 80. 80 is just loud. It really is. Jeremy, thank you. And I appreciate you coming to the show. Kilo 7, Victor Foxtrot Oscar, a wonderful mate of mine. Just south, 10 miles. Nice to see you. Patty Rose, thank you. Appreciate that. It's very nice. You guys are very nice. Man, I'm going to walk out of here today and feel like I am doggone special. I got a card from my buddy, Ron. This is so nice to get such a special card from some people who just gave darn to put a card in the mail. Will Myers, thank you. Really, that made my day. I can't wait to show my wife that. And William in Jacksonville, the only way I can get rid of all the noise is to hit the power button. That's true. And Indy, don't say where's the power button. No. Sorry, what's a manual? Excuse me, what's a manual? Don't do that. No. Read the manual. It'll really help you. But you're going to learn. See, that's why I think I don't want people to get stuck at being a technician, because you have practical experience using a radio. And once you get that, that's so valuable. It's more valuable than learning to pass the test, because that's all you're doing. You're learning to pass the test and answer the questions they want you to know. You learn to use the radio, and then you learn how to be an amateur radio operator. You will help pass so many of those questions just by practical experience of using a radio. You really will. Don't give up. Try and license up if you can, because the solar peak is coming in a couple of years. It'll be well worth it. Okay. I'm going to close the show at this point. I'm going to thank you guys for coming. What a treat it's been. Looking forward to some great guests coming. And my favorite part of it is just spending time with all of you. An hour a day talking about radio. There's nothing like it, guys. If you'd like to get an amateur radio, there are some wonderful clubs out there that can help you. Wireless Institute of Australia. They're one of them. The oldest club in the world, by the way. Yep. www.wia.org. That's a great club. The Radio Society of Great Britain. Another one. You don't have to be in any of these countries to have them help you. You just say, I would like to be an amateur licensee, and I live here. and then they'll send you an email back that'll tell you, well, there's an amateur radio club that's real close to you right here. Here's their contact information. Get a hold of them. That is your ticket in. It really is. Contact someone like the Radio Society of Great Britain either at www.rsgb.org. Make sure and let them know where you're located. They'll help you get on the air. It's such a great hobby, you guys. You'll never master it, but you'll always enjoy it. From Oregon, my name's Larry, and my call sign is Kilo 7 Hotel November. We're going to go to a place I think we all would love to be, if just for an afternoon. Honolulu, Hawaii. Until we meet again, God bless you. Thanks for watching Ham Radio Live. Goodbye, my friends.
This concludes another day of broadcasting from Hawaii's very own KHNL Channel 13, a division of King Broadcasting Company. The studios and offices for KHNL.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Andy New, Mike 7, Charlie November said no trivia. We cannot do a show without trivia. Because I did it. I just got so excited about the TS-2000 because I like that radio. Okay, let's first of all, before we do, because they're going to be really ticked off now, we'll go up to the crow's nest and take a look at the angry hams. Hang on.
Have to introduce the final number. Everyone else around here has turned Swedish.
Not all of us, you old bat. Some of us were deferred to see
The angry hams. It's a little replay of yesterday, but we'll take it anyway, okay? Okay. Question number 1. I can't not do this. Okay, the score, by the way, the world is ahead 70-60. This is a good game. All right, in which year was the radio manufacturer ICOM incorporated? So what year did ICOM become incorporated? Was it A, 1951? Was it B, 1954? Was it C, 1964? Or B, 1971? Sorry, that'd be D, right? I learned my A, B, C, B's a long time ago. Yeah, of course. Okay. What year was the radio manufacturer ICOM incorporated? 1951 is A, 1954 is B, 1964 is C, and 1971 is D. Let me know with A, B, C, or D. We'll let you know who gets it right and which continent gets it right. First one in, William from Jacksonville, November 5, Echo Victor Victor with A, 1951. You know, this is interesting because initially, the initial plans to start the company were in 1951, but it wasn't the year they incorporated. That is very, you know what? I'm giving North America, just because of that, I'm going to give them 5 points. I am. Because it's true. Yeah, Mr. Asagawa's first thought of putting the company together came in 1951. That's true. So now we're going to 70-65 just because of William. That's an interesting point. Yep. All right. Second question, answer C, from Steve in the UK. Mike 7, Indy Whiskey Hotel was C, 1964, and he got it right. Yes, look at that. Steve, well done. So now the world has jumped out ahead. Now it's 80-65. It was 1964. That's the year ICOM first incorporated, but the plans for it started back in 51. So that's actually true from William. He got that one right. That's pretty darn cool. All right, next question today. Oh boy, you see what's happening? There's the name. Okay. On what date did Marconi... Okay. On what date did Marconi receive the first transatlantic radio signal? By the way, he was second. He wasn't first. Nope, he wasn't. Really wasn't. If we know our radio history, that's not it. Yep. What year did Marconi receive the first transatlantic radio signal? Was it A, December 1st, 1901, B, December 12th, 1901, C, December 10th, 1900, or D, December 12th, 1905. We're looking for Marconi receiving the first transatlantic radio signal. Again, that's Marconi.
Marconi plays the mamba. Listen to the radio.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Every time that word is said, that name is said, that's what happens. So, all right. So here we go. We'll find out if you guys get this one right, and hopefully we'll get it good. And by the way, Indy, thank you for coming. Victor Kilo 2, X-Ray Bravo. Be safe, mate. Be on the road safe, and thank you for all that you do. Thank you very, very much. Steve said that was a complete guess. You did well. All right. Second question. Of two, What date did Marconi receive the first transatlantic radio signal? First one up, Rod from Pennsylvania. It's Pennsylvania, Rod. Whiskey 3, Mike Papa Golf. With B, he says December 12th, 1901. Look at that. He got it. It's right. December 12th, 1901. Yep. Isn't that fantastic? Yeah, and he was not the first one to do it. We all know about that. We do. We all know the first call was actually in Androsson, Scotland. Remember? Yep. Well, Marconi did it in December of 1901 and was able to get a great call through Newfoundland, which was our first transatlantic for him. And I know it was a big deal and that they did it, and that's pretty cool. But, you know, what's interesting is that when we really look at how it was done, it wasn't a radio pioneer who first did it. It was a radio amateur that first made that transatlantic call across the Atlantic Ocean. True story. Yep. All right, that's good. Now, I think we got everybody. Let's catch up with everybody, and we'll make sure we're right. Dirk, by the way, yep, good. Bravo to Steve. Adam had B. Mike had B. Andy Cowley with D. Indy, I wouldn't have a bloody clue. Andy knew with C. William with B. Dirk with B. A lot of guys knew this. Look at B. Richard had D. And by the way, Richard, welcome. Victor Echo 6. Papa Charlie Oscar. He's a first-timer, and welcome. Welcome, my friend. It's great to have you, Richard. It's always nice to meet you. I love the Jeep front end with the handprint. That's pretty sweet. It really is. Jaw with B. Also, Barry Wendon with B. Excuse me. And by the way, Jaw sent me a really neat email about this really cool thing that I want to investigate for the 7100 when it comes, because I'm trying to get one. And I love it. It's kind of like being able to building yourself in a way, a Maestro unit, but not using a flex radio. I like that. We're going to talk about that, Joe. Thanks for bringing that to my attention. Very much appreciate it. Barry Wendon also B. Jeremy with B. Dirk, Whiskey 9 Romeo Delta Yankee. If he was second, the correct answer should be E. None of the above. No! I don't know about that. But thanks for saying that. Mark Wickens with B. All right, folks, I think we got it all done now. We got the trivia and we got everything done. Thank you. Even the Angry Ham segment, even though it was borrowed from yesterday. God bless you guys, Reverend. Thanks for putting up with me today. Sorry that the segment was late on the trivia. And thanks for watching Ham Radio Live. Wherever you may be safe, be happy, and be healthy. Goodbye, everybody.
This concludes another day of broadcasting from Hawaii's very own KHNL Channel 13, a division of King Broadcasting Company. The studios and offices for KHNL are located at 150B Pu'uhale Road in Honolulu. The transmitter is located atop the Hilton Hawaiian Village Hotel in Honolulu. KHNL programming may be viewed in Hilo on KHBC TV Channel 2, in Wailuku on KOGG Channel 15, and on Kauai by tuning to UHF translator station K65BV. Thank you for watching. Aloha and good night.